every time.
Speaking of ow, that would be a great sound alert. Ow, 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 ow. Somebody just record one of my episodes and just say ow, ow, ow the whole time. Just record 10 hours of me saying ow, 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 ow. Embarrassing.
Tom said, yeah, clip it. Dave will run it all day long.
Exterminate! Exterminate! Exterminate!
Kevo, was that really you playing the drums in the background?
Was I air drumming with
You
my
were air
sticks?
drumming the
Heck
whole
yeah, I
time.
was.
That's
Oh, yeah.
right. Wait a minute, Tom. What do you send me? No, I heard a snort, not me. So I don't know what you're talking about.
No, sir.
Oh my goodness, there. Oh, okay. Go ahead, unmute yourself, Tom. What are you doing, Tom? Are you playing guitar?
I should have played the guitar when he was doing the air drums. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
I should do that when you're playing that. Anyway, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome again to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Thank you for joining us. And for everybody who's on our Facebook page, thank you so much. Today, we were going to take it easy. We were even thinking about just taking a break for one episode. But lo and behold, we got this little ditty from our friends over at, what is it called? vidIQ. We, as of 2 days ago, hit 500,000 views. 500,000 views came across of us. And guys, I can't even thank you enough on this one. And my first question is, what is it that you like so much about us that we do on YouTube out there? So I wanted to have a little celebration with everybody, and we're going to be doing something a little bit different today that we don't normally do here, and I'll explain why in just a moment. But for those of you, as you can see scrolling on the bottom of the screen, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. YouTube.com, The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. And also you can check us out on our Facebook page. We are very close to that 71,000 Whovian climb up there. Just less than 100 people need to join up on our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Traveling TARDIS, and we will hit 71,000 followers out there. And for those of you who love listening to us on our audio, iHeartRadio, Sci-Fi.radio, Odyssey, Spotify, Spreaker, Podbean, Player FM, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, you can listen to us there. And lo and behold, today there's not going to be any Melanie, no Dave, no Nick, no Brian. We just have a small skeleton crew today, and we're going to have a little bit of fun while we celebrate our 500,000 views on our YouTube channel. If you want to help support us to get us to the big mill and just get our subscriber count going, because we want to make this your Doctor Who podcast. Get on the horn right now. Just go over to youtube.com/The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS right now. Let me go ahead and bring on the team, and please be gentle with me. Don't go completely nuts, because I'm doing the chats as well, since all of our producers are out taking doing well. I wouldn't say taking a break. I know they're getting ready for conventions. I think Melanie is getting ready for San Diego Comic-Con. I know Dave is getting ready for convention. I think Nick was as well. So a lot of our regulars are out here. But let me go ahead and bring in the other regulars. First of all, well, you can call them irregulars, but I love them that way. First of all, X is for show. We've got the lovely Kevo Risse. How you doing there, Kevo?
Hello, good. How's everyone doing?
Gotcha. What's going on in the background on the right? I love that.
I've got all my friends with me. I've got David supporting trans kids. I've got Shooty wearing his little tennis skirt, and I've got way in the back there we have Jinx Monsoon. I don't know what she's up to, but she's always up to something. Gotcha. And yeah, I like having a crew. It's what Doctor Who's all about.
Gotcha out there. And Megan Haynes, thank you. And thank you for subscribing. Happy 500th, not 500th episode, 500th views. I don't know if we can get that far. We'll be dead by.
We got to start churning them out. We got
I
to start
know.
doing it. Let's go.
But it's actually, we do have, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I got to check out there, but I'll pull up the file. But I think we got at least 700 videos on our YouTube channel and a lot of shorts.
Yeah.
There. And hello to the Candyman. Hello, everybody there. Edward, thank you so much. Yep, congratulations. And Reverend, I'll go ahead and bring him up over here. That's his thing. Rebs, Rates, A, and Rants. Dave's not here, man. I know. How you doing there, Tasty Cakes?
Well, I feel like the old PBS station, Channel 24 in Orlando. No viewer support.
What? What are you talking about? I can't.
Well, I'm at 333 views. I'm sorry, 333 videos and 45 subscribers. So I'm getting them numbers up too.
Nick, knock it off. You better be, Nick, if you are just chatting away, you better get over here. And Kev, love this t-shirt. Wait a minute, let me bring Kev back. Let's see that t-shirt. Oh, wow, I like that.
Yeah, it's an oldie, so I don't bust it out for anything but special appearances now. But yeah.
Companions.
Classic.
I love it. Speaking of lovely the companions, yep, let's bring in the lovely Mackenzie Floor, the Right of Wands, and the Binge Watcher's Guide to Doctor Who, because I keep wanting to say Hitchhiker's Guide to Doctor Who, and she knows I'm just losing my mind there.
Well, sometimes I want to take a hitchhike guide somewhere, just let's go to the universe, let's just do it.
Heck yeah.
Speaking of, what have you been fighting off with your left hand?
Oh, yeah, I've got a condition with my hand. I don't know even how it started, but I cannot feel these two fingers. So I'm wearing this brace that's supposed to help with, it's like called ulnar nerve. It's kind of like carpal tunnel, but it's the opposite. Like carpal tunnel, it usually happens on these fingers.
Yeah.
Instead, it's happening on these fingers where I can literally not feel anything. So this kind of helps me to try to get the feeling back in my hand. I don't know if I will ever, but it's my dominant hand. So yeah, it kind of sucks.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I do. If I lose my right hand, I might as well just go home. Call it in. It's all for the day there. But I'm sorry to hear that. Is that your gaming hand too?
It is. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, but at least I can use a controller. It's not. And then this part.
Mark's calling you out. Mark's completely calling you out. Left, right, up, down, up, down. You can only do that so many times before your hand goes whatever.
Too much soul board games, which is, this week I'm going to be playing Crystalla, which just went on Kickstarter today, actually launched. So yeah, I'm going to be doing more of that. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Yeah.
What am I going to tell my kids? What am I going to tell my kids when they're still growing up? When I was your age, we only had left, right. It was just an Atari joystick. And so what was your cheat code left? We didn't have any. We had to win. We had to jump over the alligators in Pitfall. And that ET crap, whatever that was.
Well, we did have Mortal Kombat. We had that beginning Mortal Kombat game where that was all about the up, down, all the finishing moves that I can't even remember. There was one that I used to do all the time with Scorpion.
My friend used to hate me because I got Raiden and I would always do that where he flies. And they just like, he would hate me. He's just like, will you cut that out? It's just like, I swear to you, those gaming systems were not built for kids who just like played with them all day and it just like almost like broke the sticks off and stuff like that. Wait a minute, here we go. Hang on a second. We got a question for Mackenzie.
I kind of did that. I have to do this I have to buy whatever it is that you get to put on top of them because I totally broke it off of that joystick.
Please don't go any submarines with that thing. Anyway, Morgan Hayes says, I have a question for Mackenzie. We got off to a good start. What is your favorite episode from Christopher Eccleston, David Tennant, Matt Smith, and Jodie Whittaker? Also, sorry to hear about your hand. Oh, okay. We got a collection there from the girl
man.
The binge watchers.
Scotsman.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow. Well, for Matt, it's definitely the episode with Vince Van Gogh. So that's the episode there of Chris Eccleston. It would actually have to be the one with the what's the child? What is that episode called, guys? That's the one
The
where.
Empty Child.
Yes, thank you.
James
That
Child
one.
and the Doctor Dances.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be my favorite for Eccleston. David
Okay.
Tennant. I'm not sure on that one. I'll have to think on that one. For Jodie, I mean, it's a controversial episode, but I love the one where we get to see the previous first Doctor. It really wasn't the runaway Doctor.
The fugitive, the fugitive of the Jadoon, the fugitive of the Jadoon, or something.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. You know what? I'm going to pose that question to everybody. So, Kevo, take it away. You got the same question. What is your favorite episode of all four of them?
And those four specifically, why can I not think of the 12th Doctor's name? All day it's been bothering me.
Peter Capaldi.
Yes, Peter Capaldi.
Yes. Okay.
Morgan,
I
did you want Capaldi in there? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but did you want Capaldi as a question? Just toss it in there, but go ahead.
I could answer that question if you toss it in there.
Go ahead. Do you want to answer that first then, McKenzie?
Well, for Peter Capaldi, I don't remember what the episode is, but it's underground. So it's the episode where he becomes a ghost.
Under the flood.
Yes, that
under
one.
the flood. And there's another
yes.
one, and I can't.
Hold on, I have it open. I'm almost there.
Gotcha. Under the flood.
Under the lake before the flood.
Under the lake before the flood.
Yes,
Okay.
Grandmother's house we
episode,
go.
that is my favorite.
Morgan's got us. Morgan's got it ahead of us. So okay, Kevo. So of all those five, I'll go ahead and put the question back, and we know Peter's in there. So let's start with Eccleston. What's your favorite? Thank you. Yet it is. Thank you so much. I see his question. I'll put it up. I'll put his.
He's not super my favorite, so it's hard. It's a rough early series. Let's just go with the first one then. You know, a classic.
To Rose.
Yes, Rose, series 1, episode 1. Rose.
Okay.
David Tennant. I want to be really lame and say the series 4 finale. I love seeing everyone all together. So series 4, episode 13, Journey's End. Matt Smith. Again, let's be super lame. Let's just pick up all the obvious ones. Let's say Day of the Doctor. Sure. That one doesn't have a real number. Peter Capaldi. I'm now going to throw in a weird one just because I wasn't prepared for the question and I'm rambling.
Oh, there you are, sir.
You know what's so
weird? Did I actually
weird?
harass you into doing this thing? I'm sorry. Go ahead. We just got.
That's fine.
That's awesome.
And I didn't answer the question about David. So when Kevo's done, I'll go back to answering that one.
You want to answer David first? We're all chaos. So if you
we're
have
all
one,
chaos
go.
there. Yeah. I was like, I couldn't believe I couldn't remember. I was like, I had to think about it. So at the very first episode where David Tennant meets River Song, that episode.
Ooh, Sounds in the Library.
Yeah.
I can name other people's episodes. You know, it's a weird good one for Capaldi. Last Christmas.
That's a good
one that's like Alien, basically. Really random characters in that one that they were able to sneak in because it was all a dream. I loved that. It was dumb and it was cute and it was fun. 13. I'm just gonna say The Timeless Children to be contrary. It's series 12, episode 10, which is my birthday, so it's 12/10.
Oh, I got
that alone is plenty of reason for me to love that episode.
Well, gang, thank you for coming in the chats, and then there's Mr. Nick Smith who just joined us. Nick, are you really busy, or if you need to do something, go ahead. I know you said you weren't available, and I felt bad. I was just like.
You got me to do it. Bravo, you.
Oh, I pulled your leg. I just like that over there. And for those of you just joining us, welcome. I see you're in the chat, CBBVR. We're going to go over everything. Again, for those of you just joining us, welcome out there as we celebrate our 500,000th view. 500,000 people have watched our videos on our YouTube channel. That's not including Facebook. That's not including everywhere else. This is just all of you on our YouTube channel, and we really appreciate that. But we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, please get your questions asked. You can ask us anything within reason, and we'll be right back as soon as I can find the button, because I'm producing, doing chats and everything. So I'm
It's
everybody
hard.
today. It is hard. Have you ever tried
I'm
it?
that on our show, so I get
Oh,
it.
really? Got it.
And Nico's usually just like, end commercial. And I'm like, no. And now you have to sit there until I find the button.
Make it happen. Make it happen. Okay.
That's why I like on my stream, I have a streamer bot. It does everything. So if someone does a redemption,
for
it does it
you.
automatically. Need a shout out, it does it automatically.
I'm sure you're nice to your bot.
I am.
Well, when we return, we'll get to your chats. And again, we're continuing our 500 view celebration, 500,000 view celebration. Thank you, everybody. We'll be right back.
Oh, brilliant! It's hard to believe that in the 56-year history of the greatest sci-fi television show in the English language, there has never been a fan guide to Doctor Who. The official books might give you what they think you need to know, but only a guide written by a true fan will give you what you really want to know. Join Whovian, the brilliant Mackenzie Floor, as she takes you on an intensive journey inside the world of the first female Doctor. In the Binge Watcher's Guide to Doctor Who, Season 11. Right, let's get a shift on.
We are a touring acoustic duo crashing kitchens around the country. We go from house to house every Friday night and we create music, we create food, a good time, we stream it live and we do it for free. So now we're just really kind of like trying to develop it and build a community group that people believe in, then they'll help us. So we played from our rehearsal room, we played from the bathroom, thankfully that didn't catch on.
I probably played guitar in my room, not for anyone, in front of anyone, nobody heard, for probably about 10 years.
And then one Friday night we played from the kitchen. It's the main place people want to be. It's where the food is, it's where the drink is, it's where the best lighting is. You can go to any party and I guarantee you the kitchen is going to be popping.
Our ultimate goal, I think, would be to crash kitchens every Friday all around the world.
The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS celebrating our 500,000 views on YouTube. And today you can ask us anything for those hard-hitting questions that we haven't been able to have a chance to answer. Here's the team today. We've got Kevo, Risse from Exit for Show. We've got the Reverend Amagon all the way on the YouTube channel as well. Revs, Raves, and Rants. We've got Mr. Nick Smith of Nick Smith Films, as well as the Cosmic Mask, and all the way on the other side, if you want to do some gaming and watch some cool gaming, Mackenzie Floor on the Twitch TV, twitch.tv/Mackenzie Floor. You look like you're piloting us up. Anyways.
I trust Mackenzie over that side for sure.
Yeah, if someone's going to drive this thing.
That's right. Wait. I want to see you. Go for it. Mackenzie, let's see you drive. Let's see. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
To turn left.
Oh, yeah. You just hit Rose on the door. You just knocked Rose off the door. And yes, Jack could fit. I'm still one of those folks out there. And please go ahead into the chats today. Let me go ahead and catch up with everybody. Peter Capaldi, Morgan was talking about it and Under the Lake. Thank you, Yet It Is. Yep, folks, happy Tuesday and congrats on the 500,000 views. Yes, thank you so much. Yet It Is adds on and says Heaven Sent and the Zygon inversion have been my favorite Capaldi episodes. So good. Mark Robinson, that's an idea, Mackenzie. Mortal Kombat Doctor Who crossover. What would be everyone ultimate Doctor Who crossover for you? Real quick, let me go ahead. We had that question posed from Morgan about your favorite episodes from each of the new Who Doctors. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to that for just a moment, and we'll just quickly wrap it up there. So let me bring in the Ramananagan, our hashtag guru. Turn on your microphone, sir. First of all, Eccleston episode. What's your favorite?
You want to jump to Eccleston? Oh, yeah. Sorry. Bring up the wiki again, just because I was looking at it.
Whatever order makes you happy. Any order.
Yes. First, the 9th Doctor, I choose Father's Day.
Okay. Good one.
For 10th Doctor, I'm gonna go a little scary. I'm gonna go with Midnight.
Okay.
Nice.
It was school reunion, but Midnight was like, okay, I like. Well, we could pick like 5 of each Doctor and still be on their way.
I've already changed all my answers. I get it.
I know. We talked about
11th Doctor.
So mad.
Vincent.
So mad at
I mean, you have to go Vincent Van Gogh. Right?
Yes.
And for
Capaldi,
my main Doctor, Capaldi. For me, it's still going to be Heaven Sent.
Great one.
The monologue, just going through the whole thing. And I love Jodie, but I didn't go through her list yet. I was going through that list of what I posted on Facebook. Okay. I'm not even on her list, and I'm still on Capaldi's.
It's Orphan 55. You can just say it.
Yeah, everyone's favorite.
What can I say?
We really need. What's that show? Not Mystery Science. It's Mystery Science Theater, but they have another show. Laugh Tracks. We need to do a Laugh Tracks with that. Riff Tracks with that. And then, Nick, have your answers ready because you're next, my friend.
I had time.
I just go with that.
Go with that. All right, there, Nick. Who's your favorite Eccleston?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I have to go with Empty Child because it's so witty. It's got so many jokes in it, which is surprising. We think of the creepy child, but it's got a lot of funny lines in too. We'd been starved of wit since the 4th Doctor, so it's great to hear that wittiness.
David Tennant?
It's got to be Turn Left because it's one of those episodes that shows what would the world be like without the Doctor, just as, we'd be sad fans without a Doctor.
Mr. Smith?
Be fans of. The other Mr. Smith, I just saw The Rings of Akhaten again, and I just love that speech that he makes. It's very Moffat-y with the leaf and, possessions having so much power, nostalgia. There's a lot wrapped into that little story.
And Capaldi and Jodie.
I'm going to go with Heaven Sent. I mean, it appeals to a lot of us, where we face obstacles and we have to, keep going.
Yeah.
And then The Woman Who Fell to Earth, it was just so much fun to watch when that turned up. So those are mine.
Yet It Is continues, said Matt Smith, Vincent, and the Doctor, of course. David Tennant, Blink, and Doomsday. And we got everybody. Yeah, if everybody wants to give their favorite episode, again, this is your episode for the day. You're the panelist. You get to ask us the questions and tell us what you think out there. Now, Mark, I'm going to get back to your topic of it over there, but let me just make sure I'm catching everybody. Oh, hello, CBB VR. Waters of Mars special David Tennant episode.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing that. That's a cool one. Yeah, that's... I literally stopped drinking water.
Don't do that at home.
Me too. That's why
I would not take a shower for quite some time. I mean, when it's an episode, and thanks to Moffat, you can't breathe, can't sleep, can't eat, can't do anything. You're kind of screwed.
No shadow.
Can't blink. I was just like, damn it, I'm so screwed out here. Bringing up the Candyman's question, Mark. That's an idea, Mackenzie. Mortal Kombat Doctor crossover. What would be everyone's ultimate Doctor Who crossover for you?
Yikers. We're stumped.
No, Picard Series 4, Peter Capaldi.
Oh, yeah.
Bring him on. Bring him in.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
to-
Track is a classic one.
I'd like to see Doctor Who and the Man from Atlantis, with all the Atlantis conspiracies all lumped together with Patrick Duffy.
Oh, okay.
I got that reference.
I'm gonna go wide and say Power Rangers.
Which Doctor?
There's a
Which Doctor?
Oh, that's great.
I'm just going to say this. Unless you want to answer first, I have an answer.
Go for it.
It's got to be 11. It's got to be 11.
He'd have
Between 10 and
too
11.
much fun with it, though.
That's what I mean. That's what I want.
12 would hate it. He'd be so angry, and I love when the mentors are grumpy.
That's what he needs. He needs to go out there. Look at you, pink, blue, yellow. You look like rainbows. And
he'd want to pilot a Zord, and I don't trust him with that. I don't.
Look at this, everybody. There's Skittles walking around. That would be him.
Yeah,
he'd be too busy like complimenting on their color schematics and like getting one there. Mr. Hashtag Guru, who would you cross over?
Oh boy. I could keep it simple and say, hey, Harry Potter, and put into 10th Doctor.
Yeah.
Which Doctor? Now that I would put Capaldi.
10th Doctor, it's like,
I would definitely put Capaldi in up against.
They almost
Harry.
did that once. That was almost one of the David Tennant specials. There was going to be this whole thing where it was going to be like J.K. Rowling was trapped in her mind by an alien, and he did other stuff instead.
There you go.
Yeah, because he hated the idea.
Hello, Andrew.
It's like, no.
He was like, no, let's not.
Nah.
I think Mackenzie, did you give us a crossover?
Well, my crossover would be actually, I think you already said it, is I would have done what the comic was supposed to do, because there was supposed to be an actual Star Trek
Assimilation.
crossover. Yeah. Yeah, with Borg. Yeah.
I don't know why, and I'm not downing this. I just, for whatever reason, can't put the Doctor in Star Wars.
No,
I mean, he could.
agree.
I mean, I if somebody can convince me, I just don't know why he could not work there. I mean, I do see that little picture every once in a while around Halloween where the 11th Doctor's got his Sonic, and Darth Vader's holding his lightsaber, and he sonicked his lightsaber to go back in or something like that while he's protecting 2 aliens down there. I got Grant G. Halo Grant. What do you think of Dr. Freedom? I think he rules.
So we hear.
I don't want to give too much because I don't want to explode that ego. It's already big enough for that parking lot that he's in every morning. But yeah, I love Dr. Freedom. He hasn't been on for a while, so it's cool out there. And the Reverend Amagon's on Instagram Live, so you can check out him if you want to. But stay put here because we need you here out there. Okay. All righty. And thank you, Andrew. Yes, 500,000 views. Next up, Andrew Morris. Do you think RTD will continue to film 2 seasons back to back? I don't see why not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see why not. I would love for him to put Millie and Shooty out on the convention circuit to get things going. Because I'm going to be honest, I was kind of disappointed here, with the exception of Pensacon. We haven't really had any Doctor Who representation. I don't want to point out specific conventions, but I was kind of disappointed, especially for the 60th anniversary, especially for being that's going to be on Disney Plus at the end of this year. A lot of the big conventions didn't even pull in anybody.
Yeah.
And that was sad. I was like, Andrew Thomas, welcome. I can't wait to see David Tennant again on the 60th anniversary. Andrew continues, I met Billie Piper at AwesomeCon this year, and she was really nice and still so beautiful. She aged like fine wine.
Yes.
I don't know which type of wine, but she ages like fine wine now. Andrew Morris, have you gone back to an episode like episode you didn't like originally, and now do you like it? That's a good question.
Mhm.
Was there an episode that you're like?
Well,
And
for me, I'm going to
then-
answer this kind of broadly. The entire Matt Smith era, I didn't like Matt at all. And going
I
back
get
and
that.
watching, I loved him. I love him. So I don't know what my problem was.
I know what my problem was. I feel like the mystery was a little bit too all over the place. And then they wrapped it all up in his last episode. And that was kind of frustrating as a viewer. But then, like, when you go back and rewatch and you understand the silence and what's this and what's that, now it's like, okay, sure. We understand where it all was going. But, watching that unfold, it was a little,
Yeah, Nick, check your microphone. Yes.
There were-
Yeah, for whatever reason, when I mute you, the clickety-click stop. I'm sorry. Okay. No, that's fine. Just keep an eye on it. I don't know if it's shorting out or whatnot, but yeah, it's clickety-clickety. So let's get back to the chats out there. Anybody else want to go for that question?
Benny. Benny.
Here's the thing is, I wasn't too crazy about The Empty Child and the Doctor Dances, and when I go back and watch it, it kind of warms up to me a lot more than it did the first time. I don't know if it was because I felt it was just too hokey or just weird, but it's perfect. It is good Doctor Who. It is really good Doctor Who. I mean, it's supposed to be a little bit on the campy side, but it is fun. And I did like the way that they approached Nancy, who I think was a very good character for the role. Part of what was happening around everything out there. CBB VR, congratulations. What are your expectations for the new special episodes coming up this year? So if I remember correctly, it is the Giggle.
mhm.
And what are the other two episodes? I can't know off the top of my head.
Before that will be Wild Blue Yonder.
Wild
and
Blue
then
Yonder.
before that will be the Star Beast.
The Star Beasts. So what are your, I guess,
Singular.
what are your expectations of what you think is going to be taking place in those 3 episodes?
Ooh.
We might want to put our spoiler alert up before we answer the question.
Fine. Just I think you
True.
just want to see our spoiler alert. Hang on a second.
I do. I mean, I do. I won't lie.
He moved it. Wait. We got to make it official.
Where am I handcuffed? Would you even have handcuffs? Spoilers.
So much we lost Nick on that one.
I think he's going back to work on his audio. Unfortunately, hopefully we get Nick back. But what are your expectations? I don't even, from everything that I see, I don't. Oh, thank you, Morgan. Yeah, there he goes. The Star Beast, Wobbly Yonder, and the Giggle. Yes.
It's hard to tell whether or not these are going to be like super big, important, significant specials, or if it's just going to be like a lark. And so that's part of what makes it hard to speculate. I don't know if this is just going to be, David and Catherine back having fun before we launch into, the real stuff with Shooty or not. So
I'm sure Shooty's going to show up like at the very end because he's got to regenerate out or something's going to happen to 14 to go into 15. But it's, I don't think we have enough information, and I'm sure RTD's holding it all back. I'm sure he's got some wild cards wherever in between all the scenes that we've seen, there's got to be something huge going on. And seeing some of the doctors show back up in Jodie's last episode, I guess there's no limitations at this moment.
Yeah.
So he's back.
I wonder.
Less clickety. I like it.
Good.
Russell is a writer who, because they just did previous Doctors in that episode, I wonder if he would hold back from doing previous Doctors in the 60th specials. But I'm also thinking of like, that's how he operated 15 years ago. I don't want to. I hope no one thinks of me how I was 15 years ago. So who knows?
Well, let's see how much he's learned and how much it has moved on since then. I know he's looking back to move forward because he's bringing David Tennant, for a better term. But now we got 14 and Donna back, and we're bringing back that familiar face with the teeth. But I really can't tell anything. That's actually somewhat good.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've seen like movie trailers that you could see that were 3-4 minutes long, and you saw the whole movie in that trailer. And there was nothing else. I mean, like everything else was just like in between, and really, I was like, well, I know how it ends. Leonardo DiCaprio, the boat sinks. So I'm just like, that's it out there. Eccleston, Father's Day. Okay, he's come back to the old questions out there. Yet it is continues. It says that speech made me sob and is a masterclass in acting for.
Oh yes.
Yeah. We're talking about the Pandorica, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one, yeah.
Yeah, that is a good one.
So
I believe it was actually the one about the ring of Akaten.
The Rings of Akaten, yes.
Yeah.
Baby.
Yeah. Best part of that episode.
Everybody asked me, I'll go ahead and do it. Christopher Eccleston, Dalek. David Tennant, let me skip. Matt Smith, A Christmas Carol, because I thought that was wonderfully done so well. Paul Lee, the Zygon Inversion, because of that beautiful war speech.
Oh yes.
Which is and Jodie Whittaker, The Village of the Angels.
Mm-hmm.
I think because I slightly enjoyed that she got turned into a weeping angel.
Good ending.
It was a good ending, but it went away. It went. I was hoping it would have gone a completely different direction than it did.
Yeah.
I was actually hoping that she would have been as an angel, and then Yaz would have had to, and Dan would have. Because I don't think it. Yeah, it was those two at that time. I would have loved to have seen them somehow to have to rescue her instead of the Doctor doing the same old, doing something different for once.
Oh, David Tennant.
So I feel like it was a whole missed opportunity there, but that's just me.
I know this is a cheat, but I'm going to have to give it, I would say, 3-way tie, and this is the only reason why, and I'll explain on this.
Okay.
Definitely School Reunion, because Sarah Jane Smith came back. The Girl in the Fireplace, because that's when you really started getting the emotions of the Doctor and things kind of pressed on. And for me, the next Doctor. I did like that little tiff between the governor and Tennant, how they were interacting with each other. I just like that story about, could the Doctor, I go over here and trip over a rock and that's how I regenerate. But he honestly didn't know who this guy was. And I just like their interaction. And when David Morrissey's character, Jackson Lake, gets the big reveal, I mean, that was gut-wrenching. And it's just like, first of all, I did kind of want, after that, I really did want David Morrissey to be a Doctor. I thought he would have been a cool Doctor, but I think that was, it is what it was. It was a great story, but I would put those three on an equal basis. But if I had to pick, God, I would say School Reunion, just because Sarah Jane came back and I got to see K9, and I thought that was a little cutesy way of what they were doing. Oh, you're in trouble with the misses and the X. That was kind of a cool pull on that one out there. But I think one of the better episodes. Oh, okay. So yet it is it is the Ring of Akaten, but I still get blown away by Capaldi's war speech and the version, because that's just flat out. We're all buzzards winning. Oh, you're feeling lucky, and it's just like, and he knew the whole time. It's like, oh, this is the third time. What was it? The 13th time you've done this, or something like that to Kate. And it's like, oh, they've done it before, so this is nothing new. We're just coming in at number 13 when Kate's brain zapped out there. Let's see here. Oh, Andrew Morris, welcome back. What are your top 3 ideas? The 3 top ideas for a new Doctor Who spinoff not done before. And if I don't say the Paternoster Gang, I'm sure people will shoot me.
Oh yeah.
That's a spin-off that everybody's been jumping on, but I'm hoping the 3 they've done it on Big Finish, but I'm hoping to see them in full force. Jenny, Vastra, and Strax. That will be a great episode. Anybody else want to shout out for spin-off episodes?
I was saying I wanted to have a vampire spin-off. So the Great One, the old vampires, because everyone, a general audience knows what a vampire is, so you could really jump into the story straight away and connect it with the Doctor Who universe.
Do you think the Doctor could end up in the Buffyverse? And if so, which one? Which Doctor would you send into the Buffyverse?
Best. Yeah. I mean, I want to see the third Doctor and everything. I want to see him picking Venusian butt with the Power Rangers, and I want to see him in the Buffyverse. Yes. He's got the frills.
I think 9 would do well on Buffy, though. It's that black leather jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's that attitude. You need the Doctor to have a little attitude against the likings of Spike, and when things go awry, that he just tells it like it is at that moment. You could have 10, but you do need a Doctor that can just outright just puts it in the face right there. Maybe even, I would even go as far as the 4th Doctor. If, Tom Baker in his prime, if we could pull him in and do that, because he has that wide eye stare, and the Scooby team asking themselves, is he really good, or is this guy really bizarre out there? But his distinction, especially with dealing with the vampires from State of Decay. I love this one, and this might be something we might revisit, because we did an episode that Nico Bat says, which historical character would you like to see on Doctor Who that hasn't been featured?
Yeah, right off the bat, it would be one of those that fall into like the Vincent and the Doctor. It would fall into that type of category there. But for me, it would be Anne Frank. I want to see that, and I would want to see it probably with Peter Capaldi, because I don't feel like any of the other Doctors could really. Maybe I would say maybe Tennant too, but those 2 Doctors specifically, I would want to have either. But I would say more like Peter Capaldi, because I think his Doctor would be able to handle that whole era better than anybody else.
And he would be more of a father figure to Anne Frank.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing that he knows the future of this girl, and what do you do with her? I'm just like, he wants so badly to rescue her, but she's got to meet her fate, unfortunately. Or does she? This is right. Doctor Who world, so I mean, what happens if he pulls her out, or whatever?
Yeah.
So, anybody else want to take a shot at a historical figure? Yeah.
I keep thinking, ever since I read about the assassination of Franz Ferdinand and how happenstance it was, I keep having this idea that I would love to see one of those stories where the Doctor has to make sure it happens, and that is part of the story of why it's so convoluted. The car got redirected from where it was supposed to be, and so the person who assassinated him just happened to run into him, and so that piece of actual history always felt very Doctor Who to me. Other than that, just as a blanket statement, I'd like to see more recent history, 80s, 90s. No figure in particular that I can think of, but yeah, just 30 years ago is now history. So
yeah,
that'd be fun.
You are reading my mind right now, mate. I was going to say both those things.
You and me, man.
Amazing.
I'm a historical. I came up with the idea from, I had wrote for something that the Doctor and his companion would go back to the time when the Declaration of Independence was being written, but you get the real characterizations of who those men were, not necessarily we've always seen that. I don't want to say that, but we kind of see them in a big light, but these were just men who had to do what they had to do at the time.
I'd love to see the British take, for sure.
The British take, yes. And of course, yeah, it's got to be Capaldi going in there and just like, wait a minute, you're here. What are you doing here? And we should have Rose with the Union Jack on, just for good measure out there. Andrew Morris continues. Well, who Doctor Who should be a bit weird, don't you think? Yeah, it should be more weird. And Mark goes talking about handcuffs. I got a photo of John Barrowman. Video. Should I read the rest of this, Mark? I got a photo of John Barrowman holding my cuffs and me.
Who doesn't?
I know exactly. I was
Not me
saying,
yet,
like,
I guess.
well, I've got a picture of John Barrowman spanking me because I asked him to.
Anyway,
He's a
Dan
good enough.
Holyfield seems traditional to have a
Mackenzie.
for anniversary. Yeah, it always does out there. Join Dan Holyfield on the Last Man Standing on his podcast. Rings I have back at Dan yet. Let's see here. Morgan Haynes. I have an idea for a spinoff 13 and Yaz Adventures post Power of the Doctor so that Thasman can stay on forever. Okay.
Oh, we see Yaz again.
I'll be honest. I'm not a big fan of Thasman, but hey, if you can write a good story about that, go for it. Let's see what you got to offer. What some ideas that you got for those two to continue on out there. Speaking of continue on, because I have no producer, I've not been watching the time. I'll be right back, but we just got to run a few commercials. When we return, we just got to keep the power bill in play. Please continue to stay logged on, tune in, become part of the legend. We'll be right back.
Meet the Doctor.
I'm the Doctor.
But not the one you were expecting.
All right, sexy. It's time to go home.
Doctor Who Velocity. Streaming now.
You have more options than ever before when choosing a film, a television or internet series, a book to curl up with, or even a radio show or podcast. Get to know the people who are creating for you. The Hangin' With Web Show, hosted by award-winning author and journalist G.W. Pomacher, is the internet's fastest-growing web talk show series. The Hangin' With Web Show features professional, yet casual, in-depth interviews with creative arts and entertainment pros. Meet the people behind a digital revolution in creating more quality content than ever before in the history of media. Find the Hangin' With Web Show on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, or simply go to www.hanginwithshow.com. That's www.hanginwithshow.com.
Hi, my name is JAIMIE ENGLE, critically acclaimed author of The Toilet Papers, Places to Go While You Go, a short story collection suited to match your bathroom needs. Only have to go a little? No problem. I've got stories under 1,000 words for you. Far from poopin'? I've got you covered, with stories over 5,000 words to keep you occupied, while your latrine stays occupied. And that's not all. The Toilet Papers is endorsed by the fine folks from Squatty Potty, the stool for better stools. But don't take my word for it. See what Dookie the Squatty Potty unicorn has to say on YouTube. You won't be disappointed. Well, I've got to go, but you can grab your copy of The Toilet Papers on Amazon in ebook or print, or get an autographed copy from me at TheRatHole.ca. And don't worry, I promise I'll wash my hands first. The Toilet Papers. You might just stay in the bathroom longer than you need to.
Traveling TARDIS, and we're getting to your chats right now. And let me jump around out here. Rebs Rants, and he's on Instagram, so I just joined him up over there. But I don't know what it's going to do, Tom. So I'll watch you if I can watch you best out there. Rebs Rants, I have a story of the Headless Horseman, but I procrastinate. That wouldn't be a bad idea.
That'd be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
And the history thereof, and the Doctor could be an influence over there. CBB VR, Paul McGann, the Eighth Doctor, has been the longest-running Doctor due to the audio stories. That is true. I feel the Eighth Doctor should get his own TV series, which will show the Time War in my detail. Do you agree? In my detail, do you agree? I would even go further than that, because before they announced, for better term, the 14th and 15th Doctor, I had an idea where they would run a series that when Doctor Who was not on the air, let's say when Jodie got regenerated, they should have a series of Paul McGann that would have led up to, I would say, give him 3 seasons that would have taken on the off season, like the summer or something. And he would actually have a story that ran like a Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead type deal into the 14th Doctor. So his involvement with the Time War and everything, we would get a little bit of an explanation on that, but somehow or another it ties into the next Doctor coming in. And I would thought that would have been cool when Jodie was regenerating and all of a sudden it just went black. and we didn't see anything. The next thing we heard was the sound of war happening. And you hear these two guys that sound like they were looking and said, "We're looking for the doctor." And surely enough, they pull back this tarp, and there's the 8th Doctor, all bloodied and beaten, just sitting there in rocks and rubble. And he goes, "What do you want to do?" And so, "We'll take him." And they bash him over the head with the back of a hammer, with the back of a rifle, and then that's how it ends. So it's like we get the 8th Doctor right after the 13th Doctor, and then that story progresses, and then we have 2 stories running simultaneously that lead into the 14th Doctor, and we explain the regeneration after Witch on the Hill. But we got new teeth, so that's what happened out there. If anybody wants to chime in on that one.
That's a great idea because
Yeah, I definitely want an 8th Doctor series, and I loved your idea. And going off of a question like saying, like with Dasman, for example, how to get it continued.
Oh, hang on. Bringing it up, the historic Christmas tree ship. Okay.
That is actually something. When I heard of this story for the very first time, I actually was like, "This has got to be a Jodie Whittaker Thasman type of story," and I'm going to continue. I'm going to try to write something like for Big Finish with the idea that I have, just to say, because I've never written anything for audio before, just to give myself a challenge to see what it would be like. But I do have this definitely would fit into it. It's a very well-known story in the Midwest of America where it had to do with the Christmas trees and how the Christmas trees actually came to the United States, where there was it was the Germans that brought the trees over, and there was a family that they had a ship where they would put Christmas trees. They would put it, book it from Michigan, and they would put a bunch of Christmas trees on the ship, and then they would bring them over to like near Chicago and give them to people. And so that's how kind of like the Christmas tree tradition started. Oh. Unfortunately, though, the person that ran the Christmas tree ship unfortunately got into an accident, and he didn't make it. But then his wife continued the tradition. So it was one of those. I was like, oh, this so seems like something. Just there was your Christmas episode. It's got that little angst in there, but also has that feeling of hope and happiness at the end because the tradition still continues on despite what happens.
I just want to jump this in here because Morgan is going to bed. Thank you for being on tonight, Morgan. Thank you so much. And we should have, we'll be back next week when we decide what we're going to be doing. I don't know what.
Big finish.
We're going to decide. We may do more Eccleston, which would be the next episode of Boomtown. But yeah, I do want to hit up some Big Finish. So Morgan says, before I head to bed, would you have liked to have seen Paul McGann as the 14th Doctor for the 3 specials?
That would have been.
I mean, it was never on the table,
right?
So but I feel like the 8th Doctor would be best served by an animated series, though. Like after seeing the success of the Clone Wars through Star Wars, I think the Time Wars, as an animated series for Doctor Who, you could, no offense to Paul McGann, but I know that he's getting older, and I wouldn't want him to have to feel pressured to do any of the things that would be required of the Time Wars as a series. And I think just there's so much you could do with animation and that you could do with Doctor Who as a property. And so I'd much more love to see that for him than whatever they are able to slap together in live action.
I kind of do like the idea of I want to keep him as the 8th Doctor, Morgan. I wouldn't make him the 14th Doctor because I did like that play off of the Twice Upon a Time, and I always thought that they should have had an episode, and Moffat pulled it through, where the first Doctor gets to see what has happened to him in his entire life and what happens. And we got it in Twice Upon a Time, and I thought maybe something happens where he forgets everything, the time wins or whatever excuse that they got over there. Nick, I know you have to go, brother. I appreciate it. So
I'm sorry. Unless you want to come to the airport with me.
No. We would love to. Go ahead and give a shout out before you head out there.
Okay, bye everybody. Thank you for including me, and I'll see you next time.
Okay, don't forget to check out the Cosmic Mask.
Cosmic Mask. We have a new issue out. Yay.
Gotcha. Have an awesome time. And anybody want to jump on Morgan's question out there? Should the 14th Doctor put him in Paul McGann?
No, I would have kept him, just as you said, and we said over time, keep the 8th Doctor, Paul McGann, in his own little series, but not jumping into 14th Doctor. I just couldn't. When David came back, because everyone recognizes David, say, okay, want to see him back, but as a 14th Doctor, and I haven't been back to the bookstore to continue to read Doctor Who magazine about what's going on with that storyline. I forgot again today with the infiltration of the Daleks, something about that, and destruction of Earth. I don't know, but it's still kind of like this whole idea about what's coming up with specials. I had the idea of what was going on here because this toy maker. So anything we know of the comic books could just be a toy situation, not real at all. But how, again, it still bugs me that David went into that outfit. I mean, could have kept Jodie wearing the other outfit. What I now have the correct size pants and scarf and boots too, but I'm not going to do it again. Christian. But it could have easily went from that outfit.
What you do in the shadows.
Gonna Photoshop. And he could have wore that outfit perfectly fine. It's like, don't want him wearing her outfit. Like, what's the deal with that? So all I can think of is, because it has to do with the toy maker, that'll deal with these characters we know from the comic book. So it brings the fans, say, oh yes, I remember all this stuff. We enjoy it, but it's not going to be real. Just like what's happening in the Doctor Who magazine with the Daleks, because I could get back next week and look it up and say, maybe it turns out, yeah, they're not real either. So that's little thoughts that pop in my head.
Gotcha.
But no. 8th Doctor stays 8th Doctor.
Mark Robinson of Candyman. My 2 spinoffs is when ICMG and Unit and Torchwood join forces to defend Earth. Can you give me a little bit more on ICMG? I can't. I'm sure if you say it, I will get it right away. And The Adventures of Ace, when she inherited Mr. Smith's computer and K9 for joke spinoff. Clara and me running the restaurant diner at the end of the universe. That would be great if Douglas Adams were still alive. And that restaurant ended up. I'm curious what idea that Moffat had for those two, what adventures they were going to have for the last heartbeat that Clara had. But I'd watch them. I'll watch them all. Just to see where it would go out there. And Nickelback continues on the animated series with the 8th Doctor would be perfect. His look and personality begs to be animated. And speaking of animated, folks, for those of you listening on the broadcast, we're going to have to say goodnight. If you want to continue it, for those of you watching on the Facebook, on the YouTube channel, we will be continuing into our after party. Again, if you've got further questions, we will go ahead and address them, but we are going to say goodbye to our audio friends. Again, for those of you who like to listen to the audio, iHeartRadio, Sci-Fi Radio, sci-fi.com, sci-fi.radio. You can download the app for free, Odyssey, Spotify, Spreaker, Podbean, Player FM, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. That's where we're going to be for our friends on the audio. Help us get up to that 71,000 Whovian followers. We passed that 7,000, I think, around Father's Day, if I'm not mistaken. I think maybe even sooner than that. But please go ahead. And for those of you who are celebrating with us and want to be a part of the legend on YouTube, youtube.com/The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, making it 500,000 views. You guys are crazy, but we love you. What are you looking at? But yeah, you can enjoy the shorts like these. And you know what? Hang on. Let me do this. My computer will let me. Tick. I don't need that. But there's the audio. But just to make you aware of what our YouTube site looks like and what we've got, because there are things that are exclusive. Right now we're running our show, but we have the past live streams, the Who Knew News, which is kind of a fallen to the wayside. We usually get an episode, but it's hard for the sometimes because some of us are working, most of us work, I should say, to get together. So occasionally we've been dropping shorts on the Who Knew News for any updated stuff. They just finished wrapping up the series. RTD announced on his Instagram. So Bits of the TARDIS, which is just bite-sized stuff or stuff that our good friend, sponsored by TheRatHole.ca, or Dave Chapman, who does board gaming, he took a trip to Canada with the Traveling TARDIS, not Canada, Epcot's Canada, and gives a review on that. Of course, Simon Fisher Becker. Occasionally, when he is available, he'll be putting out Simon Says Sci-Fi blogs, and there's some really good stuff. And it's the mind of Simon Fisher Becker, our favorite Blue Man from the 11th Doctor series, who played Dorian Moldavar in the series out there. Of course, all of our interviews. Good night. How many? We got John Peel, the author. We interviewed our friends over at Cubicle 7, Kelly Yates, the artist. I'm doing this off my head. Eric Roberts, a while back, and so many more. Of course, Sophia Miles, Paul McGann, that we've been talking about a lot. Sylvester McCoy, Sophie Aldred. I'm doing this from memory. I'm sorry, my mind is kind of defunct right now. And as Mackenzie mentioned, we always do reviews when a new episode comes out. We are currently reviewing right now the Eccleston series. We might jump into Big Finish just a few times, so give you the latest on what's going on with Big Finish. The Game On series, where we've moved it to Twitch, our 3 Twitch channels, and I'll put them up a little bit later. But if you want to check us out, as we're playing Worlds Apart, that's where we do it exclusively on Twitch. And if you see all these at the bottom, these little extras, if all these shorts, which just usually between 15 seconds to a minute, but if you enjoy just like little odd stuff, we have everything from every holiday for like Halloween, just little tidbits that we throw out there, and including our partnership with Dalek Hal, which you can see in there. Dalek is a supermodel. That's actually taking place over at Tampa Bay Comic-Con from last year, where Dalek Hal got the opportunity to be a supermodel for a few moments there. We do have pictures and videos from that. And this is just exclusively on our Legend of the Traveling TARDIS channel with over 3,200 folks. And I was right, over 730 videos out there. So you can check it out and just become part of the legend that way. And we do have exclusive stuff on there. So we are going to go into the after party. I've been talking a lot. And of course, if anything you need, we'll be right back. And for those of you watching, we're going to be right back within a second. You can continue watching. For those of you on the audio and you want to continue watching, just move over to the YouTube channel or our Facebook page, and we will be right back. Let's get back to the comments. Oh, it's just mostly
algorithms.
Yeah, moist. Let's bring up Roger. Roger, I heard that Peter Davison was going to do the sequel to the 5 Doctors at Comic-Con International in San Diego this year until he had to cancel it.
Yeah.
So, and thank you, Roger. Yes, for 500,000, not followers. I want to make sure we get that right. Somebody said videos. I'm like, God. We would have to have been with YouTube from the very beginning and put out a video every day, I think, to get 500,000. But not 5. We would love to get to that, Roger, and I really appreciate the sentiment. It's 500,000 views, 500,000 views. We've only been around here for 2.5 years. We're up to 3,200 people, and I think that's an awesome number. But yeah, I'm hoping one day we get 500,000 followers. I would quit my job. I would do this 24/7 out there. CBBVR, thank you guys. Going to bed now. Yeah, have pleasant dreams there, CBBVR. 12 a.m. in the UK, up and early open golf champion in Hoylake Wirral. I hope I pronounced that right. Oh, break a leg. Good luck to you, my friend. Hope you do well out there. In countermeasures. That's right. Group captain Ian Chucky Gilmore Group. Okay, cool. I want to ask this question, and we might expound on it when we get to Halloween. What horror movie would you want to cross the Doctor in, and which Doctor would cross into it? Who wants to go first on that one? And anybody in the chats, if you want to, if there's a horror movie out there, which horror movie would you select to cross over with the Doctor, and which Doctor would fall into it? I'll give them some time. This is actually probably an episode that's coming up because we really need more time on that.
Well, I just say I could say what video game I like to cross over.
What, The Last of Us?
Yeah, DVD, Dead by Daylight. We gotta have a Doctor Who character that comes into there. Maybe we have like the killer be like a Dalek or maybe a Cyberman, and then you have the Doctor being a survivor. Yeah.
The work's out for 733 videos at 682 views per video. I can live with that, yeah.
I wish.
Somebody did math on that. It's too late for me on doing math. Gosh.
Hashtag math.
Hashtag math. I'm trying to think.
The Evil Dead. I mean, they just had a new movie. Something freakishly with that.
You would do the new movies, or you do Bruce Campbell?
Let's do both of them that way. Say Bruce, because he's the king, and then the new ones. Shoot, because they're same but different, so it would have to be two different Doctors. Which one would fit with the campiness of Bruce Campbell, and what would fit with the extremely darkness of Evil Dead now? And how far back are we going? We're going from first till now, or just New Who?
I would go with any of them. Any of the Doctors.
Fourth Doctor for silliness. New one, not. I don't see Jodie. I don't see Matt.
Oh, Roger, you picked mine. Let me go ahead and bring up Rogers. I thought about it. I even had the script in my head, and Rogers, if you can only get the same amount of followers on YouTube as PewDiePie or Paul Logan or even Markiplier, that would be great. My pick would be Freddy Krueger and Shooty. Wow.
Interesting.
I don't know about
yeah.
Shooty. I don't know why I can't put Shooty in there.
I would put it was kind of a.
Well, I've always seen Shooty in like, smiling Shooty, happy Shooty. I haven't seen him in a darker light, but I would put Capaldi in there to take on Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
I feel like I need a darker Doctor. I'm not dissing on Shooty. I'm sure he could do it. I'm just like, I think he needs a darker Doctor. I would probably put Freddy Krueger up against 9.
It's always between the War Doctor, 9th Doctor, and 12th Doctor for
10 and 11. I couldn't put him up against.
I feel like they would be friends.
Who's
Freddy
that?
and the 9th Doctor.
You see Christopher Eccleston going, was it Freddy going like, I'm gonna kill them, and 9's going, go ahead.
Oh, nice nails.
Stupid 8. Oi, nice nails. Yeah.
It still fits into the idea of DVD because Freddy Krueger is one of the killers in that game.
Oh, that's right. In Mortal Kombat, it's expanded its world into the horrors and the Terminator and all that stuff. Now you can fight with that. It's math, not math. Horror movie crossover. Shaun of the Dead with the 4th or the 11th Doctor. Yeah. Definitely Matt would do so well. I could see the 4th Doctor, but I think I wouldn't say Matthew would be a good foil, for a better term. Like, he would mess up something. He would try to do something and then mess it up. And then you would see all the zombies coming after them, and then he would finally figure it out or something like that.
Child would go, run.
Nico Bat says, Peter Capaldi and the original It. Wow.
Whoa.
He'd analyze the heck of
Yeah.
And he would pull that Fisher King move. He would be like, your story ends now type deal in front of his face.
No fear.
Maths. Michael Myers. Have to have someone analytical to think like, what is he doing? Why is he doing this? Where's he going to be next? I still go to 12th Doctor. I don't know. Oh, if we could do the twist, put Jodie in against Michael Myers, because we have with Jamie being the heroine, and I don't know how this last one ends because I'm not going to bother watching it.
I know this is going to sound weird.
Wait for on TV to come on.
I would put 4 with the original Michael Myers because Tom Baker and Donald Pleasance actually worked together in The Mutations. And I, for whatever reason, I just see those two trying to figure out and butt heads together and work things out, getting into little fights about how to approach them. So that would be cool out there. Roger continues and says, if Stephen King can write a Doctor Who episode, it would be dark, and my second pick would be Jason Voorhees with Christopher Eccleston. Well, they're both bald.
Right?
Yeah.
Might as well go with it.
I think of what about the other Doctors that we know of, like Peter Davison and Sylvester McCoy, what would they fit into these stories? Because we have these characters, the horror stories, and we know that a darker Doctor would fit, and even a 4th Doctor, but Davidson, I mean, he's kind of always laid, wasn't my most favorite.
I don't know why. This just popped in when you said Sylvester McCoy, and I don't think you can put this as a horror movie. It's more of a mystery movie, but I would put 7 with the Clue team.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I would put 7 and Ace inside the movie Clue. Yeah, he'd be rolling his R's and just like.
That's good.
The Doctors in Clue. That'd be hilarious.
11th Doctor. Mustard. No, he had to walk in and he had to figure it all out first. and he's like, everybody's trying to hide the the murderer's trying to hide, and we can't tell the guy, what's going on out there. But slowly, 11 starts to turn around and goes, "Oh, I get it. You're looking for a killer, aren't you?" I'm just like,
well, that was that meme as well. I think you posted it for Chimes of Midnight, and at the door, there's Tim Curry opening door, and like there's Clara. And
oh yeah, I do have that Halloween meme where they open it's the everybody at Clue. No, it's sorry. No, I'll try to see if I can find it in a minute. I'll see if I can find it. Give me a second. You guys talk amongst yourselves. It's actually one of the more popular Halloween memes that we put out. But yeah, it's 11 and Claire going, "I don't think I trust these people." And it's a picture of the Clue team staring right back at them. Oh, God. See if I can find it out here. And while I'm doing that, Or the Strand, original 2-part movie with 7th and 10th Time Lord Victorious version. Ooh. That would be awesome. See if I can find that picture in time before the episode ends.
I think I would cross the 10th Doctor with the Conjuring movies.
Yes, that would be good.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
I think Mark Muncy should write a story, since all his tales throw in a Doctor. That makes sense.
Exactly. Yeah.
Somebody took Cosmic Mask.
Eerie Doctor. This is Mark Muncy, because Mark Muncy is our writer for Erie, Florida. And I think he's expanded out from just Florida. He's been adding some stuff out there, but I thought that would be an interesting thing. Mark Muncy writing a story of that. And for those of you who've been wondering, here it is. Here's the picture.
Yes.
Colleen.
That's Claire going, "Doctor, I have a very bad feeling about it." So that is our little meme out there. Let's see if we got more in the chats. Roger continues, everyone's favorite Doctor is David Tennant's 10. Now he's back as the 14th for the 60th anniversary. Can you name some dark New Who episodes?
Well, you named a great 10th Doctor one with Midnight, for sure.
Midnight was a horror one, yeah.
Yeah, and there's one with 11 that has to do with well, there's actually a couple of episodes of there was 2 episodes, I believe. One
Hyde.
from the picture that you put in that meme.
Hyde.
Yep, Hyde. And then I think there was another one too. And then there was one that it wasn't really scary, but it was more of like a goofy one that had to do with the where Matt Smith's character gets turned into this like red.
The Crimson Horror.
Crimson
The
Horror.
Crimson Horror.
Oh my god.
That was just I don't know what to say about that episode. It was just bizarre.
Yeah.
And it was the 100th episode of the revival too. So I had such high hopes, and it was
just bizarre. Oh, there we go. Andrew Morris, Midnight, Turn Left, Silence in the Library. Yeah. Really dark episodes.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Wow. Mark Robinson. Candyman says, which doctor should star in the Poltergeist? Carol Ann, come to the light. This for everyone in the panel and the audience.
Ooh.
Never seen.
But like the original? Oh, the original Poltergeist? Not that new one that came out that was kind of...
There was a new one? Oh my god.
Yeah, I didn't...
Damn you, Hollywood.
They tried. It looked like there was going to be a sequel, but I don't think so. Andrew says Third Doctor and Poltergeist.
Oh.
Fourth Doctor. Gotta be. Especially with, I can't think of her name, but she goes, don't look into the light, don't look into the light.
Yeah.
Look at the light, don't look at the light. I'm like, what? What do you want? Which one?
They said that movie was cursed. Oh.
It is. If you see all the documentaries.
Evil spirits, I wouldn't doubt it.
With the documentaries that they had, yeah, I would do that there. Roger says, any episode with weeping angels is scary to me, and kids actually like Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, some of the episodes are kind of gore. I mean, just the scene in Doomsday where you hear
the
woman.
conversion.
Yeah, I did my duty for Queen and Country.
Mm-hmm.
And she's taking it, and then you hear the sounds of what it takes to process into a Cyberman. I'm like, Urgh.
Yeah.
I think you know what? I'll think I'll revisit this again because Halloween Horror Nights is coming up. If Halloween Horror Nights went to Doctor Who and said, "We'll take one of your episodes and do not answer. I will not put them up. We're going to save this for Halloween, but I want you guys to think about it. Which episode would you turn into a haunted house?"
Sure.
Don't answer. Don't. If you guys answer in the chats, I'm not going to put them up. You can put them in the chats, but I'm not going to put them up. The original article, you might say. Which horror movie could you see the second Doctor in? And don't say The Omen. Cheaters.
So I got an image in my head.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm Gregory Peck.
You know what they should do? Somebody needs to come out with an idea of regenerating Patrick Troughton while he's got the stake in there into the third Doctor. Just saying, might as well just go all the way with that.
There's a stick in my chest.
If you could take the first Doctor into any horror movie, which movie would he play a role in? The first Doctor, William Hartnell's Doctor. Which movie?
Classic Universal thing.
He would. I'm putting him in the classic Universal, definitely.
Any of
Is that your answer, Andrew? Quartermaster in the Pit? God, I would probably put him with I put the first Doctor in with the Mummy, actually. I'll put William Hartnell into the Mummy movie. I mean, this is so great. It's not even October yet. You know, they're already putting out stuff in the stores for Halloween. It's July.
It's the next major holiday.
I know. It's not.
Cracker Barrel and Michael's, both stores. Like, okay, here's Halloween stuff. Like,
Somebody put up a meme
Usually
that
Christmas
says,
stuff is coming up right around this time too.
So let Halloween have its time.
Oh, what is it? Disney is actually doing Halloween party in August.
Yeah,
it's starting in the tail end of August. Yeah,
Always.
I get that, Andrew. I'm just like, there are people who want it all year round, and I'm one of them. So, because after it seems that it goes from July 4th, and then and then all the holidays, beginning with Halloween. Halloween starts it off, and it starts off at the tail end of September, and then you have all the months leading up to Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, and right at the stroke of midnight, on midnight, there's nothing. It's just this empty pit of nothing. And
it's a problem.
It is, and not only that, but you don't. When you have the holidays like Halloween and Christmas and all, and Thanksgiving, they kind of cluster in together, and you always have that feeling because they play their music. You know, they have movies out, but as soon as you get to the end of the year, it's nothing. It's like off the diving board. There's nothing here.
I've started planning ahead binges to start doing in January and February of new shows. Like if I know I want to start something new, I know I'm going to be watching holiday stuff for the last 4 months of the year. So I start making my list, and then I have something to do to replace all of the holiday stuff. And so that helps sometimes.
We got a few minutes left. Mark Robinson says he's going to pit the second Doctor up against Annabelle. I like that. I truly like that. I would pit 11 against Annabelle too, because of the way he would look at her and the way he would try to read her and like what's her next move and stuff like that. Yeah, Valentine's and Easter, but do you know what I'm saying? There's that feeling. Like right now in July, the stores are putting out their holiday stuff. You can hear occasionally a Halloween song like Thriller or something. There seems to be that emotional feeling that starts, that kind of tails off after July 4th. Then you get the summer, and then September, everything is Halloween. From the beginning of September. And it's just the feeling of the holidays. Christmas has its own feeling. Oh yeah, that's true. Absolutely. And Halloween's following it. How big I just want to ask this for one last question. How big is Halloween now in the UK for our friends over there? How big is it now, Mark and Roger? Depending on which country in USA has the lowest national holiday, or Spain has the most. But it's just, if anybody can understand, I don't know if you guys, you know that feeling when the holidays hit, and Halloween kind of kicks it off in September, and then it just continues on, and it's a really good feeling. It just runs right into Christmas, and then New Year's, and then it just kind of subsides. There you go. Yeah, I love the build up to Halloween too. It's pretty big. It is now? Okay. Because Chrissy and I were looking at the attic and going look at the Halloween stuff, and so she would put it on, and it's like, look at us. It's like just July. It's still freaking hot outside out there.
Yeah, enough with the Christmas in July crap. So
I remember, like, as a kid, was like right after July 4th holiday was like, okay, back to school is out already. Then they'd have behind that would be all the Halloween stuff. It's just like, it's July, guys.
Yeah, and I'm on this. Like, you know how Thanksgiving is always the last Thursday of the month. Halloween needs to be a weekend day. That's all I'm saying. Or Halloween needs to be like on a Monday or a Friday, and it needs to be a day off. That's exactly. I'm pushing for that little bit. Everybody, check out X's for Show. Kevo Risse over there at X's for Show, please. And they do live streaming out there. Check out Kevo and Nico on their episodes. So Reverend Amagan right there. Check out Revs, Raves, and Rants on the YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe. And over on the Twitch channel, Mackenzie Floor, twitch.tv/Mackenzie Floor. And the thing is that if you're lucky, you might see Mackenzie drive like that. Or you might be lucky enough that I might be in the room and giving her death count a little bit.
I was going to say, you're spamming my death count, yeah.
And again, everybody, thank you so much for getting out. We can't wait to hit our next goal, whatever that may be. I'm hoping 1 million very soon. And of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. If you want to join us, you may be able to play You can sign up with Doctor Who Worlds Apart for free. There's it on the bottom. YouTube.com/legend, the Traveling TARDIS. Before you leave, go ahead and make sure before you close up the door, like, share, comment, subscribe on the YouTube channel. Our Facebook, facebook.com/the Traveling TARDIS. Get us up to 71. And you know the deal there, folks. Okay, please stay safe. We will have an episode next week. Any last words before we go ahead and close up the doors for this episode?
We're actually doing a Doctor Who episode on our show this week. So if anybody wants to swing by and check that out, we're doing on Saturday, sometime in the afternoon.
Okay.
We're going to be doing a 6 introductory episodes of Doctor Who sort of list. You know, things that give you a sense of what the show is, to really see if the show is for you in the first place, let alone where to even start catching up. So we're going to start with our list, and then we're going to have a discussion. Yeah, kind of. You know, not any big ones like Day of the Doctor. It's a great episode, but that's not where you plunk someone in the middle. You need something more like Rogue.
Melody it was.
Or,
Wow.
you know, I was actually thinking today about School Hard and Madame de Pompadour because you brought them up. I was thinking about them earlier as ones that are pretty good ones that if you show that to someone cold without any really like continuity, that's a really good example of Doctor Who. So it's episodes like that is what we're going to be looking at. So X is for show. Check it out.
Check it out. And it's for this Saturday. Check them out live. Don't forget to say goodbye on the way out. And again, as we are leaving, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for getting our counts up over there. Please like, share, and subscribe on our YouTube channel, please. And thank you so much for joining us. And everybody, take care of yourselves and become part of the legend. And Tony, go ahead and take us out.